Today I'm going to be solving an issue with the Kichler Barrington fan. It's a remote control fan. I believe the model number is 35206. Really cool technology and everything in the remote. It's got a button for light on and off, and then it's got fan speeds 1, 2, and 3, and then fan off right here. Super cool technology, and it's really awesome to have. However, there was one thing that I didn't know after these fans got installed, is that if you turn the power on and off repeatedly because you forget that, hey, it's operated by the button, it'll eventually fry the receiver. So I'll show you that in just a little bit. But what I'm going to be working on today is replacing the receiver in the fan that's above you right now, so that way the remote will actually work. Because right now, regardless of button on or off, trying to turn on the light, turn it off, turn on the fan, nothing's happening. I'll switch this wall switch over. Same thing, no light working, no fan, I've got nothing, okay? So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn off the power, but before we turn off the power, we need to check that the power is on at the switch, and then we're going to flip it at the breaker. So let's go ahead and check that out real quick. This is the switch that was in the wall before. There's a dimmer on it because they had a different fan. I'm always going to keep that at full level. But here's the on-off switch. So first off, I want to make sure that this power is switched on before I flip off the breaker. So that way when I flip on the breaker, I'm not messing with the power at the switch and risking frying the receiver again. So I've got one of these little current testers. These guys are maybe like $6 or $7 at Lowe's. What it is you press the button and it will feel the power, and as you can see, that light's on and it's buzzing and humming. That means power's on. So with that button still pressed, I'm going to flip the switch. Nothing's going on. So once again, I'm going to hit that button again. Go over here to the switch. We don't have power on, no light, no sound. Then I'm going to flip that switch back over. Waving it over, same thing, button still down. So that power is on, the wall switch is on. Just one more final check because it doesn't hurt, pressing the button. And we got juice flowing through there. So I'm going to leave that switch there, and then I'm going to go flip off the breaker. So once again, so that way when I flip on the breaker, I'm not messing with the power at the switch. Okay, and also to signify people not, or to tell people to not touch this switch, I'm going to put a little piece of tape over it so that way we don't risk frying the receiver again. We're here at the breaker box. This one's number 14 on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and flip that off. And because it never hurts, we're going to do another power check. Once again, the switch is still on. Press the button. And I'm not getting anything from that switch. So power's off at the breaker, and we'll check that again at the fan. Up here at the top of the fan, before we check the power, we're going to have to take off a couple screws over here on one side, and then a couple screws on the other side. Now we've got that cover off, so we're going to do another power check here. Button. Barely getting anything out of that. I've checked before, and with the power on and running through, it hums really, really constantly. So I do not believe power is on right there. Here's what the receiver looks like that's going to slide in there. We've got a black and a white wire on the side. We've got the actual antenna wire right here on one edge. And then we've got right here coming out of the same spot a black, a white, and a blue that we're going to be hooking up. Alright. Also, if you see over here this little red box, these are the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. It pretty much is a code that you sync up with the remote. So whatever that receiver is up top and on the remote, I'm going to make sure I duplicate with this receiver. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the wires on the black and white. That's these two right here, coming from the power from the house. This red one doesn't need to be touched, it's just capped. And then we're going to remove the black, white, and blue right here. Okay, removing the black, white, and blue. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and separate the rest of those wires right here on the black, white, and blue. These three that are joined together. This one right here coming out of the receiver, I'm not going to worry about twisting that up because this one's going to be trash. And then right here, this white one that goes down to the actual fan and the actual light. I'm going to go ahead and get that guy prepped twist it up a little bit so that way it can receive the wire nut a little bit better and then attach to the new receiver. Okay, so at this point we got the receiver right here. Here's the big chunk. That should just slide out nice and easy once we get these black and white wires coming from the house. Sliding out, and let's go ahead and check out that code right here. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 all on. So I'm just going to make sure that's the same way for the new one. So what it looks like when it's fried is you'll be able to tell, like right there, there's a little bit of heat where it melted the plastic right here and there as well. On the first one that fried for me, I had to replace 2. The first one, it was a big old plastic bubble that was poking out. And if you were to remove the screws on the back side, right here and here, you would check out that the board is fried, and so this guy's no good. Once again, that's from turning the power on and off. Alright, so here's the new one. We got code 1, 2, 3, 4 all on. Let's see if we can get a better look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 all on. Alright, so now we're going to slide that in the same exact way, making sure that receiver wire leads. So going through this top little chunk here, you'll see it when you're on there. I'm just going to go ahead and slide it through just to set it up right now. Okay, so once again, here's the black, white, and blue wires that are going to go together, those 3 to those 3. And then we're going to take from the receiver right here, these black and white wires are going to the black and white from the house, from the switch. Alright, once again, red stays capped, ground should have already been capped. If you need the wire diagram, it should be online. So I'm going to go ahead and give these guys a pretty little twist here. Now that we got them all hooked up, we're going to have to tuck these guys in, these wire setups in just a little bit so that way the cover that goes on doesn't pinch anything. So I'm going to tuck these black and white wires right up here behind, if they'll fit with the cover. And we're going to spin these other black, white, and blue wires right over here. We'll throw the red in this way, and then the ground and the receiver right over here. Alright, we should have enough space, so let's go ahead and get rolling. Get everything tucked in, make sure we're not going to pinch anything. Go ahead and hook it on that screw that's already there on the right. Just turned on the power to the breaker. Once again, a little reminder, this switch is on and I want it to stay that way. So let's do a power check real quick. And we got lots of juice flowing through right now. That light is bright red and humming, if you can see. So let's go ahead and take a look at the remote and see what this guy does. Cool, so we got everything hooked up all right, and it now works again. Thank you, Kichler, for sending me another receiver. So for you guys out there who are having problems with your Kichler Barrington model 35206, I believe, make sure that you always keep the power on at the switch, and you're only to control the fan with this remote. Otherwise, if you keep turning the switch on and off, you're going to fry the receiver and have to get another one and change that out. So total time, if I was jamming and not recording or anything, probably could have taken 7 total minutes up on the ladder with the power checks and everything and getting the tools together. Probably maybe 20 minutes max, depending on skill level. But yeah, it should be a real easy fix. Once again, you don't really need to hire anyone professional for that. Just get your little current tester, make sure you're not going to shock yourself, and then make sure you know where your breakers are at for your designated light switches. Thanks for checking it out, and I hope to have more home and auto DIY videos for you sometime soon. Thanks for watching.